Welcome to Pop Culture Man Children. I'm Mike Bongiorno. I'm joined today by Janine Gagliardi.
You know there's going to be a Playmobil movie?
I know.
I feel like it's just going to be like really German toys. Just being like...
The trains are on time. Just
another perfect day in Playmobil. Nothing happens here.
Everything is awesome. There's also going to be a Funko Pop movie.
Really?
Which I'm more excited about, although it's the exact same thing as Playmobil and Lego, which is licensing. Just here's characters you like already, right? Here they are doing stuff. There's so much going on in the world. I haven't spoken to you on the podcast, which is all that counts, since the Rise of Skywalker trailer came out.
Yeah.
Do you have any brief thoughts on that?
Brief. I'm excited
you pull
for
out
it.
a binder.
I'm just like, well.
Let's start with section 1B.
I am excited for it. And we have never gotten into my issues with Last Jedi. And they're not, I think, what you would expect necessarily, because I do like a lot about it. And I don't have any issues with like, oh, they ruined Luke. I don't think they did at all. I think they did a great job with Luke. Right. And I think he's going to be a Force ghost.
Sure,
I mean, you hear his voice.
People don't die in Star Wars.
They don't. I mean, apparently the Emperor didn't.
No.
But that's like a Sith thing. They can't become Force ghosts.
He did it.
But I guess.
He figured it out.
He did. It's not a story any Jedi would tell you. I am excited for it. I'll put it that way. It does seem like there are a lot of visual throwbacks, like
to the Matrix movies.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect, but I feel like it's been kind of uneven. But I'm still excited for it, and they'll definitely get my money.
When it comes out, I want to do a round table.
Okay, that'd be fun.
Like you, Bill, Vin Forte, maybe Emilio. Emilio doesn't care or know anything about Star Wars. He could just be comic relief.
Now, hasn't he watched them though? Did he watch?
No, he only watched Rogue One. Oh, and no, he saw Last Jedi. But
wait, he saw Last Jedi with no context?
Yeah, exactly.
What did he think?
He found it boring.
Oh, okay.
Which I would too if I had no idea what was going on. I saw Avengers Endgame. And
yeah.
And I'm not going to say anything about it, but I will say I was thinking like, you need to see 20 other movies for this to make any sense.
Yeah.
There were even things that made no sense to me because I skipped a few Captain Americas here or there. But you need to see...
It's 11 years of movies.
If you went into Endgame without seeing any other Marvel movies...
Oh, you'd feel no idea what's happening.
This is a mid-season episode of a telenovela I'm not aware of.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about some of the news. Where do I
Did you stop doing that sound effect? I've noticed.
Yes, I have.
Oh.
Because
I love it.
Do you?
I've been missing it.
Just do it with your mouth. I don't want to do the editing. That's just plain simple. Where do I start? Oh, here's a good place to start.
Okay.
Roman Polanski.
Oh God.
Is suing.
Why always drop these bombs on me?
This one's great. As they would say in the old neighborhood, the balls on this guy. Roman Polanski is suing the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, that's the Oscars organization, demanding reinstatement into the prestigious organization after he was expelled last May. I'm reading this from Variety.
Okay.
Last May, I guess part of the Me Too wave, the Motion Picture Academy of Arts and Sciences was like, we should not have Roman Polanski in our organization anymore. He's not even allowed to be in this country. So the suit filed in the state of California, I don't know how you do that if you're not an American citizen, says that they did not follow proper protocol in dismissing him nearly a year ago. The Academy did so in accordance with the organization's standards of conduct, they said at the time, adding their leadership expected members to uphold the Academy's values and respect for human dignity.
If you're Roman Polanski,
is he insane?
Don't you have bigger fish to fry? Like, aren't you worried about getting arrested and thrown in jail?
Wouldn't it be amazing if they like Julian Assanged him?
Oh my God.
You just went in and got him.
Although his victim has now said she doesn't want to pursue legal action.
Has she changed her thinking on it, or she just doesn't want to be defined by...
I think she's just done.
Doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, I think it's been so long for her. And who wants to rehash everything? And like, you'd have to drudge up all this stuff, and then you'd have his lawyers trying to disprove and discredit her. And she's built a whole life. Like, yeah. I get it. I don't blame her.
The real weird thing is that I think everybody believed her. Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of people. It's not like the Woody Allen thing or the Bill Cosby thing where there are people who don't believe. Everyone believed her, but was like, we don't care, which is its own brand of horrible. So he's suing them. I don't know. To me, I don't know. If maybe it's just my personality. If I don't hold the door for somebody, I'm going to lose sleep tonight. I would be up at 4 a.m. like, oh my God, I'm a horrible person. The fact that he can just go around enjoying life, feeling entitled, and feels like, what is it? 20 years later, one bad thing happens to him because of what he did. And he's going to sue them over it.
Did you ever? There was like a documentary about him a few years back.
Yes, and Roman Polanski wanted and desired.
Yes. So do you remember the photo that caused the judge to like put out a warrant? Because he was like walking around free during the trial, and he was supposed to be, like morose over this case. Yeah. And he was photographed at like an Oktoberfest event where he had like a big mug of beer, a huge smile on his face, and his arm around some girl. And the judge saw the photo because it was published in some like gossip rag, and was like, he's going to jail. Get him.
I don't remember that.
And that's
photo.
when he took off. Like,
right. Didn't he? I don't remember if he took off before the judgment or the judgment came down and he took off before the sentencing. But he took off before the sentencing.
He was
over.
out on bail. Yeah, he was out and free, and they were like, nope.
I don't think you're allowed to make a Holocaust movie and that absolves you from rape.
Yeah,
I think he does though.
Yeah,
I think he feels like, come on, look
at me,
the Holocaust, everybody. My wife was murdered.
I mean,
that was not a valid argument. That was an argument his like people presented at the time.
It was
like
so despicable.
He's getting over the murder of his wife and child.
So let's go have sex with a child.
Right. That's how he was processing it, I guess. Fuck him.
So messed up.
Fuck you, Roman Polanski. How about that?
Boy, you burned that bridge.
Yeah. You know what?
You'll never work with him.
He's listening right now, and he's like, turning it off. Let me put back on Joe Rogan.
I can't wait for the Playmobil movie.
Produced by Roman Polanski. What if you found out, like, for the last, 20 years, like, a lot of innocuous children's films were just secretly produced by Roman Polanski?
Oh, my God.
Like, he's the brains behind VeggieTales.
Well, that I would not be surprised about.
Oh, Polanski. You are a creep. Just stay in France. So this is a weird one. I gotta unplug for a second. This is a weird one. So... remember for the last few years, there's been this wave of live musicals on network TV because network TV is suffering for ratings. So live sporting events always make money, so they've been trying to do like live musicals. So they're moving out of that, and now they're moving into like other live things. This is really interesting.
Well, the live stuff did really well at first, right? Like Sound of Music did really well.
Yeah.
That was the ratings.
Right, but then you had Rocket Horror. No, Rocket Horror wasn't live.
Grease was live.
Grease was live, and Grease was good, but I don't know how it did in ratings.
And they did Peter Pan, and that was like panned.
And they didn't even
panned.
All right, I'm ending this episode.
I'm ending this podcast.
Today, my friend texted me, it's National Pretzel Day, and I said, don't get it twisted. And we're not friends anymore. No, they did Peter Pan without a live audience, which, you could hear the douche chills.
Oh, God.
So ABC is doing an All in the Family and a Jeffersons special.
Huh.
And so ABC said April 18th that it is teaming with Norman Lear and Jimmy Kimmel to recreate All in the Family and the Jeffersons for live front of a studio audience. The star-studded 90-minute special that ABC Entertainment President Carrie Burke hopes will become a recurring feature. As most scripted half hours now draw less than 1.0 ratings among the all-important adults,
Wow.
18 to 49 demographic, the live effort is part of a push to reinvigorate the space, and sources say other broadcast networks are looking to step further with live scripted comedy. It is Woody Harrelson as Archie Bunker.
Really?
Marissa Tomei as Edith Bunker. And
I was going to say, wow, they're really aging down everybody, but they were probably that age. Everybody in the 70s looked, and 80s, looked so much older.
Yeah. I actually think...
Like, the Golden Girls were 39.
They were 27. Jamie Foxx is George Jefferson.
Okay.
Who's Wheezy? Is your baby okay?
Probably
Wanda
not.
Sykes is Wheezy.
Okay. I feel like she's been missing in action lately. Has she? Or have I just not seen what she's been up to?
I don't know where she's been either.
Yeah.
Oh no, is she still in Blackish? I haven't watched it since season 3. Archie and Edith's daughter, which earned Sally Southers 2 Emmys, will be played by Ellie Kemper.
Oh, wow. Okay. Huh. Who's Meathead?
I don't know. I don't have it here. Will
Rob
Ferrell.
Reiner reprises his role.
Oh my god. Just him and Ellie Kemper as a couple.
I just love slamming the table every time.
Will Ferrell's in it as the neighbor of the Jeffersons. So I guess they're picking... I don't know if it's a new script or they're just picking classic episodes and redoing them. But they're both together in one live thing.
Just a live special.
Yeah.
And just one-off.
Yeah.
Okay. That's kind of... I feel like they're not going to be able to get into anything.
Justina Machado, who headlined the new and recently canceled One Day at a Time.
I love her.
Will play Florence, the Jeffersons' maid. I actually think this is awesome. Like, it's easy to make fun of this, but when I heard it, I was like, oh, this is stupid. But then I was like, this is actually probably awesome. I'm totally down for this.
Live play then, right?
Yeah.
I mean...
And those are really good people. I think Woody Harrelson would be great as Archie.
Woody Harrelson has been knocking it out of the park lately.
He's amazing. He's really great in that third Planet of the Apes movie.
Oh, yeah, he is. I've seen all of those. That's one thing. I felt like the last time I was on, I was like, nope, haven't seen that. Nope, not sure what a movie is. But I have seen all 3 of the newer Planet of the Apes. They are. Well, the first one with James Franco is sort of like, I feel like it's a means to an end. They just have to get him to that point where he's talking. He's been good in everything that he's been doing. I didn't see the new Netflix thing that he's in, the Highwaymen. That's
I haven't seen that either.
But he's great on True Detective. He was even good in the Hunger Games, and I thought that was just like a check for him. But
wait, which one? Who are we talking about? Who's good in the Hunger Games?
Woody Harrelson.
Oh, right. He was even good in Solo.
Yeah, he was.
He was like, he almost was like, he might be the best actor actually to ever be in a Star Wars movie. Think about it, because Star Wars is not known for great performances and great actors.
Otherwise, good actors doing really poor performances.
Yeah. Ahmed Best came out at Star Wars Celebration to
really
thunderous applause and a standing ovation, and it was beautiful.
Oh, it's not his fault.
Because he became suicidal.
Oh my God.
Do you know that?
No.
He put out a video about bullying a couple months ago, and he was like, I was in Star Wars Episode 1, and I was a Broadway nobody actor, and I thought, this is it. I'm in a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
I'm going to be... And I became hated for a role that I didn't write or have anything to do with.
He's a brilliant physical performer.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. Jar Jar gets it to...
Jar Jar is ridiculous and racist, but...
right. For sure. But...
But don't put that on Ahmed Best.
Right. So he got a lot of love.
There was a featurette on the DVDs. I want to say, I don't remember which one, but it was it was Phantom Menace. And I want to say it was George Lucas, but either he or one of the producers was pointing to Ahmed Best and was like, you're going to be seeing a lot more of him. And I was like, oh.
There's that famous Lucas line from one of the interviews where he goes, Jar Jar is the key to everything. And you see that come up on message boards a lot.
He's so utterly humorless that any of his attempts at a joke.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what to believe.
The funniest parts of the original trilogy are just things Harrison Ford improv. And he'd be like, can you stick to the script? And he'd be like, no, nerd. I'm Harrison Ford. And then he was like, okay.
Give him a wedgie and then walk off set.
The Harrison Ford George Lucas dynamic is very much that of Zach Morris and Screech.
My God.
Very much that. And that makes Spielberg Mario Lopez. I'm stretching it too thin. I'm sorry. I'll stop. And that was Ahmed Best talk. Back to the news. So
that's the podcast.
We're doing all new segments this year, Janine. All
Ahmed
new
Best.
segments. Ahmed Best.
We're starting in April with the new segment.
We're doing Ahmed Best news every week. So, because they don't own enough, Comcast is in talks to sell its 30% stake of Hulu to Disney, which make Disney the majority owner of Hulu.
I don't want to get into like antitrust talk, but
no.
Where are these laws?
There are no laws.
I know, everything's deregulated.
No. Here's what happens. The FCC goes, well, we will mull it over and we will decide what's best for the American people. And then a lobbyist just comes and blows them and they go, thank you for the blowjob.
The Agit Pie needs 3 hours to fill up that Reese's mug. He can't take any time away from it.
That fucking guy. Stop my robocalls.
I hope that mug breaks.
My best friend is Scam Likely. He calls me every day.
Scam Likely.
Scam Likely. Do you have, what service do you have?
I have Verizon.
Do you get Scam Likely?
I don't. I get
That's
Slovenia.
A T-Mobile thing.
Slovenia, Morocco. I get Belarus. I get, yeah. My
nice.
International
T-Mobile
friends.
does this thing where the name will come up as Scam Likely.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Which is like, they didn't tell me about that.
No.
I just thought it was someone with the raddest name ever. Like
Scam Likely. That's a Star Wars name if I've ever heard one.
I think the worst Star Wars name is the drug dealer from episode 2. His name is literally like Scumbag. It's like
the Death Sticks guy?
Yeah. The guy trying to sell you death sticks.
You don't want to sell me Death Sticks.
Death Sticks guy is what comes up when you Google it. Alan Sell. No, that's the actor. Sorry.
Wait, his name is Alan Sell Drugs.
Bad guy sells drugs. That's his name. He's from Coruscant. I don't need to know all this.
The actor?
Yes, the actor is from... Oh, no, maybe that is his name. Oh, no, his name is... okay, so he has a nickname in the Star Wars world. Mm. This is probably something they did later to try to fix George's mistake.
Yeah.
Now they're saying his name is Ilan Selbagano, but he's known in the credits of the film as Ilan Sleazebagio.
Sleazebagio.
No, Sleazebagano.
Sleazebagano. That's Italian, right?
Yeah, I think I have some Sleazebaganos in my family going way back. What the hell are we talking about? Oh, Disney.
Oh, yeah.
So
they're going to own Hulu?
Yeah, they already have a stake. When Hulu when first came out, the idea was the major networks, ABC, NBC, CBS, no, not CBS, because they went off on their own with All Access.
That was
Great
a
job.
mistake.
NBC, Fox, ABC, and ABC is owned by Disney. Mm-hmm. It was like, the idea was like, people want to stream, people want the immediacy of digital content. Mm-hmm. And we want to keep this 100-year-old model of advertising going. Mm-hmm. So we have to figure out a way to give them what they want in a way that's accessible, so they won't steal it from us. Because that's what anti-piracy is now. It's not really anti-piracy. Didn't you know, without saying names, didn't you know somebody who got sued over the Napster thing?
I did. Their house got raided by the FBI.
That is so...
And they were like a young teen.
Yeah.
Like they weren't even 15 years old.
Are they still in debt over that?
No.
Okay. Do you remember how much it was?
It was several $1,000s.
They thought, well, so that was the old way of doing things.
Yeah.
Because they thought when they did that to people, they would make examples. Mm-hmm. But piracy didn't end.
Right.
So now the whole thing is, let's give it to you. So anyway, but now Disney is like, we want it all. We want everything.
What ended up happening was their parents had to pay it because they didn't have any money.
Because they're a child.
They're a child. And then they ended up being grounded for the rest of high school.
The rest?
I think it was the rest of high school.
Of high school?
I didn't see them again for like a number of years. Like they weren't allowed to leave the house.
Holy shit. All right, this is from CNBC. Comcast has had a frustrating run as a partial owner of the video streaming platform Hulu, but that doesn't make the decision to sell its minority stake in the company any easier. Disney and Comcast are holding talks about working out a deal for Comcast's 30% stake. According to people familiar with the matter, Comcast is now weighing the pros and cons of doing a deal now rather than later, said these people who asked not to be named because the discussions are private. It's still unclear if the deal will transpire. Doesn't this sound scary? Mm-hmm. Like we're leaking things in secret, and even saying we want to do the deal now instead of later.
Yeah,
makes it like it's an inevitable. If Disney wants you, they get you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, Disney's so powerful now. They act like the mob. Like when The Last Jedi came out, Disney was like, to go to my film class, right? There's 3 parts of the film industry: production, distribution, and exhibition. And exhibition has always worked the same way. You make a deal with the studio. Basically, every movie theater rents a print of the movie. Now it's a digital copy of the movie. And that's the way it's always been. It's always been that way. They get most of the ticket sales, which is why the candy so much, because the theater gets most of the candy. Right. So anyway,
it's like, where else are you going to buy the candy? They have a stronghold on that candy market.
So Disney was like, for The Last Jedi, you have to promise that you play it on your biggest screen, which is not a stipulation that has ever had a precedent in the movie business. You don't tell the theaters how to exhibit the movie. And some of the theaters were like, well, what if we don't want to do that?
Right.
And Disney was like, well, then you don't get to play the new Star Wars movie. See, that kind of strong-arming people is the kind of shenanigans that goes on when you are basically a monopoly. You can push people around that way. Right. Did you see the Twitter rant by Abigail Disney?
No.
Settle in. This is so fucking good. Abigail Disney is the granddaughter of Roy Disney, who was the brother of Walt, and the co-founder of the Disney Studios is what it was originally called in the 20s.
And Michael Eisner's #1 enemy.
Well, Bob Iger is the CEO now. And all right, let me be this is Abigail Disney on Twitter. Let me get my instrument ready. Let me be very clear. I like Bob Iger. I do not speak for my family, but only for myself. Other than owning shares, not that many, I have no more say in what happens there than anyone else. But by any objective measure, a pay ratio over 1,000 is insane. To brush aside criticism of the low wage you pay workers at the company by saying you pay more than the federal minimum wage and that you provide opportunities for education is a dodge. We all know that the federal minimum wage is too low to live on. Why must we, at a company that's more profitable than it's ever been, be paying anything so close, at least, to the laws, having a stroke, so close to least the laws allow at all. This is in response to a report that like people working at Disney World are living in their cars.
Oh my God.
Pointing out the incongruity of pay at the top and pay at the bottom provokes a reaction because it so violates our innate sense of fairness. It is impossible not to wince. It's nice to give a bonus to a person pulling down a salary. Everybody loves that. You know what everybody loves more? A raise. And if the tax cut makes a bonus possible, then the tax cut is permanent. Then that tax cut is permanent, doesn't it stand? I'm going to say this is Abigail Disney's bad grammar and not me. I'm trying to make it make sense, but she's off on she's running. Doesn't it stand the reason you have given a raise instead? And whom did that buyback benefit? Well, you. She's speaking directly to the CEO of Disney, right? Bob Iger.
The keys are hot right now.
Abigail
she's going in.
Disney. She don't give a fuck. She don't give a fuck. Well, you and lots of people at the high end of the company and lots of other wealthy people. 85% of stocks are owned by the richest 10% of Americans. Yeah, girl.
Henry has a stock in Disney.
He's one of the problems.
He's one of the richest people in the United States.
Americans. So congrats. You just deepened wealth and quality.
Well, they're over $100 a share. He received it as a gift, and it was one share, and it was, I think at the time, $138.
Okay. I don't know how many shares Abigail has, but probably similar to what Henry has.
Just one. Just the one.
There are just over 20,000 employees at Disney. If you took half of that 65 million bonus, because of course Bob Iger gets bonuses, along with half the very generous bonuses everyone else up in the C-suites got, I am quite certain you could move significant resources down the line to more evenly share in the great success. I'm sure the math is complicated and no one is complaining about pay at the middle and upper levels of the company. So let's just say that you raise the salaries of those at the bottom quartile. That would be 50,000 employees who would get, on average, $740 bump from Iger's bonus alone.
Wow.
That alone would be pretty dramatic. Then add 50% of the rest of the upper tier bonuses. Now we're talking about dramatic change in living conditions for people who up till now worked full time and yet were living at home or below the poverty line. What difference would it make in the quality of life for those who gave up half their bonuses? None, zero. Maybe they can afford a third home. Or maybe they can't afford a third home or another boat. I'm not being facetious here. That's the kind of sacrifice we'd be talking about for high-level execs. She is spilling the tea.
Is it what number of? It's like one of how many of these tweets? Does she list them?
Oh,
usually
God.
at the end it'll be like 2 of 25 or something.
I'm looking from I screenshot them, so I'm not looking on Twitter, but it goes, and I've been skipping stuff.
Wow.
I think that's pretty.
But to what end? Like, did anybody listen?
No, but I think it's still cool.
I think so
that
too.
A direct descendant of Disney is publicly shaming the CEO of Disney for people who work for the company and that are poor. I mean, if minimum wage were linked with inflation, it should be like $22 an hour or $21 an hour. So
and they're
even
only
the fight
talking
for
to
15
increasing
is
as
under.
15, yeah.
So even 15 would be not enough.
Right, because they don't make cost of living adjustments. It's always a fight, like every 20 years to increase the minimum wage.
Bonuses are insane to me.
I know. Because it'll be like someone's salary.
Right, and it's not a part of regular people's lives. It's only a part of special rich people's lives. I've never gotten a bonus. No, that's not true.
Have you gotten a bonus?
When I was a tour guide, I got a bonus from like the Rotary Club.
At the conference house?
Yeah.
I didn't know you were paid there. I thought you did it for the love of history.
I did it for the love of wearing puffy shirts.
Man, that place is hella haunted.
No, it isn't.
It 100%
I used to sleep
is.
there all the time.
Well, okay, this is the joke that I always tell people. Like, my friend used to work at the conference house and he had a dress in colonial garb, and then he would fall asleep and people would walk up and ask for a tour and he'd be like, "What year is it?"
That was a fun time. All right, let's go to the trailer corner.
Okay. I have a lot of thoughts about a lot of things.
I have a lot of thoughts about a lot of things too. Where should we begin? Should we begin with the big one?
Oh my God.
Or...
You know, this has been... People are just going to like shut it off when they see me come on because we always end up talking politics. We talk economics.
This is such an SJ dub fest.
It really is.
All right, let's start with Gemini Man. Here are my thoughts.
Okay.
Who could possibly care? Who could possibly care? Haven't we seen this movie done before?
I'm not.
A lot?
Like, I don't even think they care about giving you the plot points because we've seen it already.
Right.
It's an assassin,
right?
I guess,
yeah.
Who is now being hunted down by a clone of himself.
Isn't that what Looper was?
Yes, that's what Looper was. I mean,
Looper by Brian Johnson.
Who's directing it?
Ang
Lee.
Ang Lee.
Right. Thank you, Bill.
I like Ang Lee movies.
I feel like he's very hit or miss for me.
I actually like his Hulk. Hot take.
I fell asleep, and I don't fall asleep during movies or in life, so that was something.
One time I showed you Ghostbusters 2 and you fell asleep, and I honestly never forgave you for it.
I don't even remember that.
So,
oh my God. So it's Ang Lee. And I was going to make a joke about how they didn't get the Marvel money to do the de-aging correctly. But then I looked into who did the visual effects for them and they actually didn't. So Lola VFX does all the de-aging for the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
And Captain Marvel, you've seen Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel's de-aging was beautiful. It was seamless. It was so convincing. It looked incredible. Already in the trailer, I can tell Gemini Man is not that way. I was like, ooh, Uncanny Valley gross.
I don't think it's that bad.
It's it's done by Weta. So Peter Jackson's visual effects company. Does he own it, or they just do all the stuff with him?
So he's closely related.
Yeah.
They're from New Zealand.
Yeah. So they're.
And I imagine New Zealand just as a series of caves.
They open up their big round door to go to work.
Like, what are we gonna do tonight? Are we gonna go to the fucking the Dragon Inn, or are we going to see Flight of the Conchords concert?
My god!
What are we doing? That's the two things we do.
Good.
We live in New Zealand.
Oh my god, that's all we can do.
Well, I think Samuel Jackson is a demon who doesn't age.
I mean, yes, yeah.
So he just has been. He's like Jack Torrance at the Overlook Hotel. He's just always been in movies. Like you've always been in movies.
I think it's significant though that he looks younger than he did in a movie like role that was notable at the time period that like Captain Marvel was taking place. So he looks younger than he did in Pulp Fiction.
Right. They definitely do stuff, but I feel like you work with what you got.
They had gold with Samuel L. Jackson. They really did. But Coulson looked good too. He looked real fresh.
Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah, I mean, you definitely notice it.
It's very noticeable.
And it's all you're looking at too. Because it's like, you see two Will Smiths and it's like, and we all know what Fresh Prince looked like.
Right.
So it's not like we have to imagine him young.
Can you imagine when the movie comes out, there's going to be so many Fresh Prince jokes? Like in the review headlines, like not so Fresh Prince.
Oh my god, it writes itself.
It does.
You should write for a newspaper. You should be a reviewer. Not so Fresh Prince. Am I right, folks? Finish the story on page 4. God, I fell asleep watching that. I literally was trying to.
Clive Owen has been out of the movies for a while, hasn't he? He's back. Unfortunately, I don't think this vehicle is gonna.
I can't
bring him back for good.
Even the name bores me.
Gemini Man.
Because that's the sign that's like two things.
It's
right?
twins, yeah. And one is calm and collected, and one is crazy.
And is there any doubt that there's going to be a couple of action sequences where they're trying to kill each other, then they're going to get together and decide to not?
No, yeah, and they're going to like team up against the organization or whoever is
why are we doing,
manipulating them.
They should just
Mary
call the whole
Elizabeth
thing off.
Winstead's in it.
She's a gift from the heavens to our planet. We're going to talk more about her next week on the probably not minisode of
it never is
of Love, Death, and Robots. I always want to say Love and Sex with Robots because that was a book that came out like 10 years ago.
I always want to say Sex, Death, and Robots because of the copious gratuitous nudity that's in the show.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll get to
all the dicks in that show.
At least it's equal opportunity-ish.
Yeah. So for more dick talk, tune in next week.
Tune in.
Who could possibly? I think the last time you were on, I asked you, when's the last time Will Smith was good?
I know.
And we took out a chalkboard and we tried to really get down to brass tacks.
I don't think it's going to be anytime soon.
I mean, I bet Aladdin does well.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure he'll be charming and fun in it.
Yeah.
I feel like he's giving me a lot of hitch in the genie performance.
Oh boy, that is not what I want. Give us more Hitch.
It's a blue.
Hitch might have been when the love affair was over for me.
Yeah.
When I was like,
you know, I liked I Am Legend.
I liked I Am Legend too, although they ruined the ending.
Yes.
They made the ending stupid. Yeah, it looks stupid. Let's not see it.
Okay.
I actually was thinking back the other day about how many trailers do I do in Trailer Corner that I don't eventually see.
Yeah.
And it's a lot.
It's a lot. But you see movies all the time, no?
You know, the year of Movie Pass was a magical time.
What do you have now? You're like preferred?
No, I'm the A-list AMC.
Oh, that's you?
Yeah.
You're the A-list?
Yep. I get to walk up the fucking line and fucking give people the finger. Like, that's right, guys. I get my popcorn before you. But I'm not in that mode of going every day like I was.
Okay.
I've also been more into playing video games.
Okay.
So I've been slacking on the movies. I still haven't even watched season 2 of Sabrina. I don't know if I am.
Oh, really?
I had a friend explain it all to me and I was like, that sounds great, thanks. Not that I don't want it, but I feel like I got it from them.
I enjoyed it.
All right, we'll talk about it on Chill Sesh. Let's talk about Child's Play.
Oh my God. Okay.
Now, this is the main trailer. A month or so ago, we did the teaser trailer on Trailer Corner. So this gives us our first real look at Chucky. Gives us an idea of what Chucky is. It gives us an idea of
But we really only see him in like the last like moment of the trailer.
And we hear Mark Hamill doing the voice of, which I'm gonna complete speculation. I know nothing of the production of this movie. That's gotta be a late replacement because he announced that he was doing the voice of Chucky after the first trailer came out. And there's no way they would have hired somebody that late.
Yeah.
Somebody did it and they replaced him. I hope it wasn't the original guy because that would be fucked up.
Yeah, he's kind of old now, though. I mean, not older than Mark Hamill, though, is he?
No. The most fucked up story is when they made the Ghostbusters cartoon, Ernie Hudson came in to do the voice of Winston, the character he played in the movie, and they were like, no, you're not what we're looking for.
Whoa.
And they gave it to Arsenio Hall.
Did they give the Peter Venkman role to Lorenzo Music?
Yes, of course they did. It was him for the first couple seasons, and then the last couple seasons it was Uncle Joey Gladstone.
Oh, wow.
That's his name, right?
Cut
Uncle
that
Joey
out.
Gladstone?
Yeah. Dave Coulier? Alanis Morissette's ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Is that real? Was that song really about him? Did she really go down on him in a theater?
I mean, wouldn't you?
In a theater.
Man, he really did a number on her.
Do you think when she was blowing him, he had the chipmunk guy or the fucking the wood chip guy, and he was like petting her hair? It's all for comedy, folks.
So, okay, just real quick about the
Andy
release
looks
date.
too old.
Andy does look too old.
He
I'm
looks
like,
like he's
believe
14.
this kid, please. He knows what things are.
Like the original Andy's like 6. It makes sense that like they're like, hey little boy, your dog's not alive.
Yeah,
but this
you don't know what reality is yet.
This Andy's watching people sell drugs.
He's like in the 7th grade.
DVD. I don't know what you see him.
I'm like, who gave this kid a toy?
He's so old.
Also, Aubrey Plaza is now playing people's mothers.
Well, she reached 30s, and now,
God,
you know how it works.
It's
in
like
Hollywood.
Watching Winona Ryder play Spock's mom. I'm like, she's not that old. Like
she's like 2 years older than Zachary Quinto.
Yeah. Like, I think she's an appropriate age for Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Of a child that age. And even the, like, having a teenager in high school, they explained away with, like, oh, she had a kid really young.
Yeah.
But for Aubrey Plaza to have a child this age, I'm like, she's not old enough yet. I mean, I know people do, but it's just...
Well, it's like that Amy Schumer sketch, The Last Fuckable Day.
I love that sketch.
It really is that. It's like you can be the young sex symbol. Not that Aubrey Plaza was always a sex symbol, but you're the young woman and then you kind of go away. She didn't go away too long though. She went and she played a bad guy in Legion, which is she's like the best part of that show because she's fucking insane.
Well, I heard really good things about Ingrid Goes West too.
Yeah, I heard good things too, but I haven't seen it.
I thought she was going to take that route then because it didn't do well, I think.
Yeah.
Like financially, but critically it did really well.
Yeah.
So I thought she was going to go. Because she like wrote that or did she direct it?
Oh, I don't know.
It was like she had a real hand in it.
Okay. I think she does interesting things. You know?
Well, see, for me, I'm like, she was in Life After Beth not that long ago where she's playing like a young person who's not in college, I think, but she's still young enough to live at home with her parents. Yeah. And now in the next movie, she's playing like a child's mom.
Yeah. And if he were like a little
boy, kid,
you'd be like, okay. But this Andy is like in AARP. He's ridiculous. So the big change is I think that he's not possessed via voodoo. That he is it's an AI gone rogue story.
Okay, right, because of the app.
Yeah,
the buddy app. Which, I mean, that's the one thing I'm like, why would a toy company ever make a toy that could control every electronic in your house?
That's like if they made like an Alexa doll.
Yeah.
You know what it is?
You just triggered my Alexa, by the way.
Oh God, she's listening always. She's always listening. It's like I imagine some like 50-year-old screenwriter with a cigar. Like, what are the kids like? Apps. Put an app in the screenplay.
Because it has an eye. It's like Buddy with an eye.
Yeah, you get it? Like, do you get it?
Not every app has an eye in it.
It did 7 years ago.
Yeah.
You know
Some of the deaths look like they're going to be disgusting. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, you know what? One thing I always find funny with neckbeards is when they're like they talk about ruining things and like when the Michael Bay Ninja Turtles came out. Mm-hmm. People were like, it's ruining Ninja Turtles. And I love Ninja Turtles. I always have. I always will. But, like, they're talking turtles. Like, what's being ruined? Like, What integrity do you think was there that Michael Bay is now shitting on? Like,
the
people are
cartoon
saying,
originally shat on the integrity anyway because it was kind of a dark comic
Right,
when it
right,
started.
right.
So it was not for children.
Exactly. So I've been hearing people go, this new Child's Play it's going to really ruin it. And it's like, go watch the original Child's Play again. It's a fun romp.
Yeah.
It's insane. Ruin it? No.
I think they're having fun with it because the one thing I keep wanting to bring up is the release date is, I think it's June 21st. But more importantly, it's the same day Toy Story 4 is coming out.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's 2 Andys and it's toys coming to life.
Shit.
And I think they're going to have a lot of fun with the marketing. I hope they have a lot of fun with the marketing. I'm very excited about that.
Wow. You just blew my mind. And I have never thought until now that they're both named Andy.
I think that was intentional. I think it's like a sly little fun thing.
Of the creators of Toy Story?
Yes, I do. I really do. Because they're like,
Yeah.
they're people. They watch those movies. And at the time, Pixar wasn't Disney yet. I mean, it was associated with Disney, but it wasn't like they had a stranglehold on these artists.
Right. And at that time, there hadn't been a Chucky movie for... Oh, wait, no. They were doing those Bride. They were doing...
Yeah, they were doing the Bride
That
movies.
series towards the end got crazy.
It got crazy. It got very queer. It was like really interesting.
Yeah. You had John Waters in one of them. Mm-hmm. And I think they're still... That series is still ongoing. Like, there was one last year.
Yeah.
With like an adult Andy. I saw like the first 5 minutes and I had to do something else. But I was like, it was interesting. It opened up with Andy's a man and he comes home in his apartment and like he like takes out a joint and like smokes it and then like goes to like a picture on the wall and then opens it and then there's a safe and he undoes it and there's Chucky's head and Chucky's head is alive.
Oh. And
Chucky says like fuck you and he just brings Chucky's head out and like puts it on the table and like blows weed smoke in its face and it's like, how are you today? And it's like he's keeping the head as like a pet. It was fucked up.
Weird.
I enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy it enough to keep going.
Yeah.
But I like that Paperboy's in it.
Paperboy
from Atlanta. He's the cop.
Oh, okay. I don't watch Atlanta.
Oh, okay. He's also... Did you see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse?
No, I didn't.
He's also the voice of Miles Morales' dad. He's the African-American man in the trailer who I guess is the cop, which is from the original...
What's the actor's name? Do you know?
Oh, I don't know. I'll find that in 1 second. I just call him Paperboy because in Atlanta he plays a rapper named Paperboy. It actually looks plot-wise very similar. Like you've got the dynamic of the mother, the son, and then the cop who's sort of like on the trail of what's going on. Some of the deaths do look good. You see one guy who's like putting up Christmas tree lights.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna get strangled or.
Yeah,
I do see the face is a little.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, what do you think of the design of Chucky?
I mean, I don't hate it, but it is a little weird. You know what? You know why I think it's kind of weird? Because it's effective because it looks like almost like a Bratz doll version.
Yeah, it looks stiff. It looks like porcelain to me. Somehow it looks in some way like older than like the 80s version.
I have a feeling it's gonna, if they rely too much on CGI, it's gonna look worse than the 80s version because so much of that is like puppetry and like practical effects.
I can almost guarantee you that they're going to rely too much on CGI. They're showing so little of him in the trailer. You know where Chucky was great? The real Chucky played himself in Ready Player One, the movie.
Oh, yeah.
In the big battle at the end. And he was voiced by the real original guy.
Oh, okay. Billy Bibbit. That was Brad Dourif.
Yeah. Wormtongue.
That's right.
Brian.
Bill is coming in clutch, just like mouthing the names of everyone from the couch.
Brian Tyree Henry.
Oh, okay.
Who you named your child after. Brian Tyree Henry is
and Miles Morales.
Yeah, and Paperboy. So he plays Detective Mike Norris.
Okay.
It looks good. I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be stupid. It was always stupid.
Yeah, it was always stupid, but like fun.
Yeah, I loved it as a kid. Chucky, this is gonna take us back. Back in the 80s, there was these popular things called 1-800 numbers, and Chucky had a 1-800 number where you'd call and he'd be like, "Hey, I'm Chucky, bro, fuck you," and I think like I begged my mom to call, and I don't think she ever let me. Because it was one of those things where, like, you put in your credit card and
and then they charge you by the minute.
Yeah, for Chucky just to talk at you.
Chucky.
But I remember seeing the ad for that in the back of a comic book.
Oh my God.
And I was like, we got to call Chucky. And my mom was like, no, we're not going to call Chucky. Now it would be what? Like an app where Chucky just yells at you?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the poster for Child's Play 2 is iconic. It's the Jack in a Box sprung, and he's got these shears, and he's like going to cut the Jack in a Box head off. Those movies are classics. I want to revisit that original trilogy. So, well, that's it for the trailer corner. We've got no other trailers to talk about.
Oh my God, no.
Well, all right, let's talk about the trailer for Unplanned. The title alone. You know what you're getting.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Radio silence.
Okay.
How to transition from Child's Play to Unplanned? Unplanned is a Christian movie that is pro-life.
Yeah. It's from the people who made God's Not Dead and
Right.
Do You Believe?
Right. There's Christian movies. People don't realize it, or us city slickers don't realize it. The Christian movies come out all the time, and they usually have small budgets, but they make a lot of money.
Right. Well, this actress who stars in Unplanned, her name is Ashley Bratcher. She's never acted in a movie that was a non-Christian movie. So she's made her career acting in these movies. So there's enough of them. There's enough in industry to support, careers.
That's what Melissa Joan Hart does now.
Really?
She's in the God Is Not Dead movies.
Okay.
She plays
There's a
like
lot
the
of people
lawyer.
who are like in those movies that are very surprising. Like Sybil Shepherd's in one of them, and she's like,
Yeah, she got to eat.
well, I know, right? It's everyone. If you really want to see people who have entered the a check is a check phase of their career, take a look at those movies.
Yeah.
Like Hayden Christensen is in one of those movies.
Really?
Yeah, he's in one. It's directed by like Michael Polish, who did some like really interesting things, and then he got this. I guess his career wasn't doing so hot, so then he took this Christian movie, and I can't remember the name because it isn't one of this group's films, but it's another Christian movie, and he's like the lead in this movie.
Really?
In 2015, it came out.
There's a movie out right now that's like an anti pulling the plug movie.
Wow.
It's called Breakthrough.
Okay.
It's about, they're all like based on a true story.
Right.
It's about a kid who falls into the ice while skating, and the doctors are like, he's brain dead. And the mother's like, you don't understand, he's a fighter. And the doctor's like, no, it's impossible to come back.
Right.
But he comes back, and that's what the movie's. And Luke Cage is in it.
Oh, okay.
Actually, he has the best line in the trailer that me and my brother always make fun of, because there's a line in the trailer where he's like, when I was out there rescuing him, I heard the voice of God. But the thing is, I don't believe in God.
And then he checked himself into a mental health facility.
And then he was like, can I get the check now, please? I'm done with this movie.
Okay. So, all right. This movie follows the career
It's
of
also a true story.
Abby Johnson, who is, as the trailer puts it, you'll be the youngest director of a Planned Parenthood facility of all time.
I'm already turned off by women in business.
Right? I mean, come on.
Ill.
Disgusting. So apparently she volunteered with Planned Parenthood. She would be one of those volunteer escorts. And she said at the time that she was very shocked by the death threats of the people getting abortions.
You did real research on the real
person? I
person?
really did. Yeah, because I was like, well, what is this movie? And she said she was really shocked at the time by this so-called like Christian protesters like threatening death on the women who were getting abortions,
in the
on
trailer,
the doctors.
you see a lot of very bad day player actors.
Yes. I mean Ashley Bratcher, not great. But she's like, I'm making a difference. You're like, oh. Anyway.
Oh yeah, because according to the trailer, everyone in her life is like, you are a baby eater.
Yeah.
And she's like, I just want a job.
When did you become this person, Abby? They're little babies.
Yeah, because they're little babies.
It's like slinging scotch at the dinner table.
Yeah. I want Richard Dawkins to do the audio commentary for this and be like, actually, they're not little babies.
Yeah. So Abby Johnson's story is she started off as this escort for women who are getting abortions, and then
because when a young woman goes to get an abortion, often there are protesters who yell at them and even
harass
threaten them.
Yeah.
Right. So the escort like walks you in and protects you.
Right. P.S. I'm sorry. Sex Education, the series on Netflix, is a great abortion clinic episode, and really humanizes. It's a great series. Okay. I know you've discussed it on the show before. You should really watch it. That episode in particular is like amazing. But anyway, and then she was named Employee of the Year by Planned Parenthood for whatever district. Again,
women in business,
And
by the way, just I'm glad that you're coming from the reality point of view. I just want to come from the film point of view. Just from the trailer, the way that they show Planned Parenthood, it looks like an evil Senate.
Yeah.
And it's all these women in like pantsuits, and instead of the vibe of like, yay, women in business or women in power, it's almost like these are evil women. Especially her boss.
Yeah. Oh, she's always in like dark colors or black.
Her boss is legitimately the queen from season 1 of Happily Ever After. She's just like, I am an evil person. Eat this poison apple.
Yeah. So,
Abortionist of the Year.
Abortionist of the Year.
By the way, is there any scenes in this movie where they give free cancer screenings?
No pap smears, no cancer screenings, no sexual health education.
They do a lot more than abortions.
Oh, sure they do. Well, we can get into where they get their funding from in a moment. But Abby Johnson in particular.
In the movie, it looks like it's an abortion factory.
It's corporate. They keep talking about, they're like, we provide abortions. This is an abortion company. They say those words. They say, you are going against our corporate policies. They're trying to make them look like this big, corporation.
Right.
And they are, a business. I'm not gonna say they aren't, but it's really irresponsible. In any event, Abby Johnson was in the room during an abortion that was occurring at 13 weeks. And she said that when the cannula touched the
that's the
instrument. It's essentially like a vacuum. When it touched the fetus, I think, there's actually a point during pregnancy where it becomes, it goes from an embryo to a fetus. And so when it touched the fetus, she said that it looked like it was squirming in pain and trying to get away from the vacuum, and looked like it was fighting for its life, which is very disturbing, very, very graphic, and very, very upsetting, especially if you're pro-choice, because you're like, oh my God, I never expected that babies would feel anything, right? Then at that point it becomes a baby in your mind. You're like, oh my God, this thing's feeling pain.
Right. I think that's like the sort of linchpin of it. Like even in the trailer, she's counseling a young person who's about to get an abortion, and she says
they can't feel pain.
Yeah, all the scientists agree. Which is whenever they say all the scientists in a Christian movie, they're about to fucking build a straw man and shit on it.
Right.
It can't feel pain, and that as you said in the trailer and in her life, she thinks she saw.
Right. I don't doubt that that's what she thinks she saw, but it's not scientific. It's an anecdote, and it's not supported by scientific evidence. So what I'll say is, Dr. Ann Davis, who's an OBGYN, and she's the director of Physicians for Reproductive Health, says that science shows that based on gestational age, the fetus is not capable of feeling pain until the 3rd trimester. Okay, so that's
And when do abortions stop?
Abortions well, I mean, it's state by state, but
do they ever go that high?
They do in New York now. So recently, a very controversial law was passed in New York that says an abortion can happen at any stage in a woman's pregnancy. And the reason this law was passed, now people have been, my mom informs me of what's going on Facebook, and my mom is like very pro-choice. So she's like enraged, but she'll say she saw someone post a picture of their like 2-week-old baby and be like, is it still too late to abort them? She came early. Like ridiculous shit. So the reason this law was passed was actually for wanted pregnancies, which is the heartbreaking thing about this law. The law is for people who have been informed at this late stage in the game that their child will not live a life outside of the womb that is not hooked up on tubes, outside of pain. They will experience like a lot of pain and suffering, and their life will be short and cruel.
So that's what it's there for.
And that's what it's there for, because
and the right is just taking this.
Before that, you had to go, I think Oregon had it, but like you actually couldn't receive an abortion in the 3rd term. So it's never for people I mean, they're saying that so far, on a case-by-case basis, they have not found one person who had a pregnancy that they just willy-nilly wanted to terminate in month 8.
Right.
You don't get that far.
Right.
And that's what anti-abortion activists are like. You could kill a baby at any stage when they can feel pain. This is for serious medical issues, usually for pregnancies that are very wanted by these families. So it's very heartbreaking and sad that this law even has to exist. And so, okay, that's at the point where they can feel pain. So that's because pain occurs in the brain, Dr. Davis says. So when a person is injured, a signal travels from the foot up. Say you stub your toe. It goes through the nervous system into the spinal cord, and then from the spinal cord up to the brain. And once the signal gets to the brain, the information is transmitted through a complex web of neurons to an area of the brain called the cortex. And it's in this part of the brain that a person can actually perceive feeling pain. So we know that there's a lot of steps between something happening to you and you actually experiencing the pain from that thing. And so a lot of pathways and nerves have to all be connected for that to happen. And so the fetus does not have any of these things, or they have one component of these things. They'll have like the skin nerve, but they won't have the brain portion yet. They will have the spinal cord, but they won't have the thing to connect it.
So they could pull away from an instrument, but not be in pain.
They have withdrawal reflexes at that point, but it's not actual pain. So you could nudge a fetus at that point and it will respond with movement, but it's not actually experiencing pain. It cannot experience pain. It does not have the physical capacity to experience pain.
But that gets to the other linchpin of this whole argument, which is a religious understanding of subjectivity.
Right. Or science, for that matter.
Well, it's if you believe that your sentience comes from your cognitive abilities, which is just an output of your synapses and your brain. That's a sort of scientific way of understanding subjectivity. But if you think that you were endowed with a soul, then that means who you are and your favorite candy and your favorite song and all that is immediately there once God goes, poof, you got a soul. So I think that is the thing. They feel like, well, you're conceived. When I say they, I mean people who are pro-life. They feel like the minute you've been conceived and you're in some way alive, God gave you a soul. So even though you haven't grown yet, you're still you because God gave you that magical thing. Whereas people that are more scientifically minded are like, yes, you're alive, but so is my houseplant. Right. My houseplant won't feel pain if it dies. And there are other things to consider, like the life of the mother and things like that. So this is definitely the deepest we've ever got on this show.
Well, we talked about school shootings the last time I was on too. So we're like, why did you do this to me?
Though, okay, I've been talking in some of my classes about the word propaganda because it's a word that I don't like. Because all texts are meaningful and send messages, and we tend to just use the word propaganda for things that we disagree with. So is this propaganda though?
I think so. I'm looking at it and thinking like, what is the artistic merit of this film? Like really? Like it's just proselytizing at you about why you shouldn't get an abortion. And like even during like the marketing tour for the film, this star of the movie, Ashley Bratcher, was saying that every mother of every teen girl, which I'm always just like, sure, it's like, so it's always the burden of all of this is always on the woman. Every mother of every teen girl should bring their child to see this movie.
So if they ever get raped, they know they have to keep it with the
I'm like, why don't you take them to a Planned Parenthood instead and learn about reproductive health and teach them about birth control options instead? Because that's never that's the thing that drives me nuts about these like people. It's they are anti-abortion, they're anti-birth control, they're anti-welfare programs. So what do you do with that baby now that you had it?
Right. Well, yeah, like that's the thing. Once you have the baby,
pro-death sentence,
fuck you.
Weirdly.
Right, exactly. like we will protect that baby until it's out of you, and once it's out of you, fuck you.
Yeah, goodbye.
We don't give a shit about you.
Good luck. You should have abstained in the first place. That's always the answer, is the abstinence. It's never people are human animals,
and we want
intimacy. We want
right.
Like people
get pregnant. Human beings get pregnant.
And the sickest, funniest, and most ridiculous part of this whole thing is that the star of the movie, Ashley Bratcher, got pregnant at the age of 19. And she's been on this tour saying, because of my unplanned pregnancy, I know better than anyone, you know, what having a baby when you're not ready is. And
but there's a difference between middle class white not ready and I'm legit poor and this kid will destroy my
life completely. Yeah. So she has a quote that she said. She was on, I don't know, some like, I want to say like CBN or some like Catholic show.
Yeah.
And I want to say the like exact quote because her word choice is really, really telling. Essentially, now I can't find it. But, well, here's one thing she says. You may think that this having a child is the end of your life or the end of your career. That's just a lie. It's a lie that society has perpetuated right now to make you believe. And that's something Planned Parenthood is really good at, is saying you can't be successful and have a child. You can't have a fulfilling career or happy life and have a child, which makes it sound like Planned Parenthood is against anyone having children at any stage in their life.
They're just
even though parenthood is in the name of the place.
Right.
So it makes women believe that they really can't, when in reality, having a child is one of the most empowering things that you can do. Sure, fine.
If fucking like a A-list director called her tomorrow and said, come be in my real movie, she'd be like, she'd throw her baby in a garbage can and run to Hollywood.
And set it on fire and run away. Okay, this is the quote. So she said that having her son saved her. He taught me to love unconditionally and what it meant to put someone else ahead of myself. And please listen to this incredible word choice. Having a child empowered me because it made me want to be a better person. It taught me to fight for someone. It just taught me so much about life because I chose to have him. She uses the word choice.
Right.
And she uses the word choice a lot.
Right.
I've been noticing in her interviews. Because, man, I deep dove on her, too. Because I was like, who is this lady? She chose to have her child and is starring in a movie about taking that choice away.
Right.
And it was empowering for her and great. I'm not going to say like, because she did get to make that choice.
Well, you know, look, I've known plenty of people to have abortions. I've never met any single person that was the stereotype of like, yeah, I got an abortion in between getting a chai latte and going to see a movie. I don't know
that anyone is like that.
Everyone I know who's gotten it, it's been a surgery. It's been a serious thing. It's been something that they thought about. It's been something that you have to take seriously. Even people who are pro-choice, you handle it seriously.
It's not fun at all. It's not pleasant. There's a recovery period. They, for the most part, I think they put you under.
Yeah.
You bleed a lot. It's not good. Like you have like the most intense cramps of your life. Like it's not a good procedure to like treat so casually. Like people are really doing this casually. Like it's like, what do they say? They want abortions to be safe, legal, and rare. Right.
Instead of seeing Unplanned, watch the movie Obvious Child from 2014 starring
Jenny Slate.
That is a movie, that's a comedy about a woman who gets an abortion. But it's also like a romantic comedy.
It's like what happens if you meet someone who might be the love of your life, but you don't want to have their baby right this second.
Right.
Because you just met them.
Right. You have a meet cute and then you have a one night stand. But
I think they ended up together. I feel like they did.
Yeah.
He was there for her.
Yeah. He was a nice guy. But I love that movie. Gabby Hoffman's in it, and she actually has a scene where she explains like literally what happened, so I think it's very informative.
Yeah.
But even that movie takes it seriously. And there's also a good scene in that movie where like she goes to get the abortion and they're like, it's going to be like $700. And she's like, I don't have that money.
Well, that's another thing. So in the trailer, okay. So let's talk about just the actress who plays the like head of the Planned Parenthood clinic.
Oh boy, this broke my heart.
Robia Lamorte. She looks familiar.
She certainly does.
That's because she starred as Jenny Calendar on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the gypsy techno-pagan that was Giles's love interest
When she died, by the way, that was one of the first heartbreaks of that show.
It was one of those like first deaths, I think, in TV where it was like, oh, no one's safe. Like this person is a beloved character and they can be killed.
Of that show, she was a main person who died, and you were like, and you felt so bad for Giles.
Sorry, season 1 spoilers.
Yeah, go back and watch season 1 of fucking.
Oh, wait, season 2, I think.
I don't remember. It's all.
It's
blur.
early on.
It's all blur. Yeah, it is
Jenny
early
Calendar's
on.
toast.
She's definitely because lots of other people die in that show, and she's definitely.
She's one of the first though.
She's one of the first. Like, oh shit, she dies, and she like dies in a pretty like I think Angel
brutal
like fucking
way.
like cracks her neck.
Yeah. Yes.
And
you know what? I'm not gonna cry so hard the next time that happens. The next time I watch it.
She plays the head of the Planned Parenthood, and again, she's an evil queen,
and she has not reached the check is a check stage of her career because she is on board.
Yeah,
according to her Wikipedia page.
So she's not a Romani witch.
She's selling audio CDs. I love that they called it that. She's selling audio CDs.
Did my great grandfather write the press release for this?
Messages. But
is it on the AOL?
She's come so far. So in looking this up, I found that Robio Lamort was Pearl of Diamond and Pearl, Prince's dancers, famed storied dancers, Diamond and Pearl.
So was she in Purple Rain?
I don't think she was. No. Although I'd have to look out for her now because I wasn't looking for her.
I'm not a huge Prince person.
I think Diamond and Pearl, like the Diamond and Pearl era was after
He's had a
Purple
lot of
Rain.
proteges, right?
He has. Carmen Electra was famously one of his proteges. He loves dancers. Right before his death, oh my God, now I'm not going to remember her name. Oh, and she's like super important and like historic. She's the first black prima ballerina for the like American Ballet Company.
Yeah.
Oh God. He was like sending her messages and stuff like saying, I admire your dancing so much. He really loved dance.
Yeah. So I didn't know that about her.
Yeah. Me neither. I didn't know that when she was on Buffy, like at all.
No, not at all. She says something in the trailer. I watched the trailer a few times and it was hard to watch it.
It really is.
But first of all, let me say, I think even as a trailer,
Misty Copeland.
Thank you. Thanks, Bill.
Bill's in the control room today. Producer Bill.
Even
playing Cuphead.
Oh, you played Cuphead? I haven't played it.
You gotta do that as a show.
Play Cuphead? Oh, you know what I do want to do as a show?
What?
The three of us?
Yeah.
They're coming out with Kenner's doing this whole retro thing of like taking the old 70s Star Wars toys and bringing them out, and they're bringing back out their Escape from the Death Star board game.
Ooh.
And we have to play it and make it an episode.
Oh my God, I love that. Do you know the board game it's based on? Like, do you know what it is?
No, it was 1977.
So they created it. It wasn't like a Trouble or something.
Oh,
or
it's like a simple like. I think it's a simple like everybody's trying to move up and whoever gets there first.
Okay.
But it was like a very early toy. All right, going back to this very upsetting movie. Even the trailer is meant to shock and upset you.
Yeah.
Even the trailer has things in it that are, I think, that's the weird dichotomy about Christian movies, which is they are. And maybe it's the weird dichotomy about Christian people, which is they're meant to be so nice, yet they are so, they'll do anything to shock you and upset you to get their point across. And, you know, the way in the trailer, because the trailer gives the whole thing away.
Yeah.
The way in the trailer you see her, like, go into someone says, hey, we're shorthanded in the back for this procedure. Could you come in? And you see it like, it looks like a fucking haunted house. It's like Dracula's house.
Dark hallway.
Yeah, and she goes in and then you see her looking and crying. And then we see her with her boyfriend crying, explaining, oh my God, it was writhing in pain.
Yeah.
But the line that really made me laugh was Miss Calendar says, we are a very powerful organization. And that is not true. Planned Parenthood is underfunded always.
Yeah.
They give away free things like free pap smears, and even for men they give away free cancer screenings. So they're not a powerful corporation.
No.
Or they're not a powerful organization.
They're completely, so any of their government funding because of the Hyde Amendment is not allowed to go.
But what about the Jekyll Amendment? And this is the kind of comedy you get on Pop Culture Man Children, Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts.
Oh my God.
Sorry, go on.
So because Roe v. Wade,
I'm
Freddie
so
versus
proud of
Jason.
that. So proud of that.
Oh my God. So, all right. So the Hyde Amendment does not allow any federal funding to support abortions financially.
Oh, all right. So what are we talking about? We're done.
We're done.
So none of my taxpayer dollars goes to abortion.
None of it goes to abortion.
All right. So
anything that is federally funded comes through Medicaid. So you'll go using Medicaid, you'll get screened, you'll get your health checkup, you'll get your like OBGYN checkup, and then they bill Medicaid like they would bill an insurance company, and that's how they get subsidized through the government. None of it's federal law, Hyde Amendment. It's an amendment.
Yeah.
So they cannot apply any federal funding to abortions.
So what the fuck are we talking about then? Then why are we...
They just want to make it illegal.
Okay. By the way,
forever.
I found this was really distasteful. There's a scene in the trailer where you see like these blue toxic waste canisters, which I guess are the fetuses, and you see like one of the church people outside like praying
putting
over
their
them.
hands over there. Yeah.
And I don't know if that's how they really I mean it's
I don't think they put
waste.
it by the front gate for everybody to touch.
Yeah. I mean it is medical waste,
fingers.
but it's just like it's in the trailer to shock you.
Yeah.
To shock you.
Well, okay, so the creators, so the directors are these guys. I don't really know their name, and honestly, I don't care. I'm going to screw them up, and I think they deserve that on a professional level. So Chuck Kozelman, maybe, and Carrie Christian.
As Christian Bale said, I'm done with them.
I'm done with them professionally. So they're the directors. Now, previously, they had only written the movies, The God's Not Dead, and they're part of Believe Entertainment. Like, that's their thing.
Oh, boy.
They said, very smugly, I might add, the real irony is that we got an R rating, and even though we don't include any sexuality or nudity or violence, the MPAA was able to recognize that abortion is such a violent act that they gave us an R. And I was like, oh, fuck yourselves.
That's dumb. That's dumb for a lot of reasons. Well, the MPAA is, or has been in the past, very Christian. The MPAA is itself bullshit because it's a private organization that has a stranglehold over the film industry. We don't elect who is in the MPAA, and they don't even disclose who's in the MPAA. So it's a secret organization that decides what movies should be rated. Oh, go fuck yourself.
I know.
Really go fuck yourself. Have you seen any of those God is Not Dead, whatever?
No.
It's reverse Inherit the Wind. It's a trial explaining why evolution is dumb.
Okay.
Reverse Inherit the Wind.
So Inherit the Wind is a Scopes trial?
Yeah, Inherit the Wind is... it's a Scopes trial. It's the movie's great. It's... What's his name? Spencer Tracy as the lawyer. If you've never seen it.
I have not.
It's great. And
Don't
Gene
spoil
Kelly's
it
in
for
it.
me.
And Gene Kelly doesn't sing and dance, but he's in it.
I love
he's
Gene Kelly.
fucking great. He's great in it. He's underrated. I heard he was a mean guy.
Yeah. I heard if you went to one of his parties, because he and his wife were like such athletes, they would make you do athletic games. And as much as I love him, I would have dreaded an invitation to his house.
His legs were legit tree trunks. Have you ever seen The Pirate?
No, but I've seen him in a bathing suit.
What a man. All right. Let's take a break.
They'd make you like jump up and down at his parties. It's very.
I don't want to do that.
And I imagine like everyone was drunk probably because it was the middle of the day.
Yeah.
So they were probably just horrible calisthenics parties.
Calisthenics parties. That's an oxymoron. All right, we got to take a break. We'll come back with more lighter material.
Oh my God.
Jesus, you want me to fucking get your soapbox, Janine?
I promise I'm fun.
You promise I'm fun. Jeez, I'm never... Anyway. All right, we'll be right back.
Be the day that you will hear me say that I will never run away. I am here for you. Love is meant for two. Now tell me what you're gonna do. If I
Welcome back to Pop Culture Man Children, PCMC. I'm Mike Bongiorno. I'm joined today with the polemic. No, she's very fun. With Janine Gagliardi. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm good. I had a bowl of cereal. I'm feeling pretty
What kind
good.
of cereal did you have?
I had chocolate toast crunch.
Is that your preferred cereal brand?
It's cinnamon toast crunch, but it's chocolate.
Does it have soissons of cinnamon?
It absolutely does.
So it's chocolate on top of the cinnamon.
Yes, and it gives it such a depth of flavor. It's my favorite, probably my favorite cereal, but it's like my all-time favorite chocolate cereal because of the cinnamon.
We got to do a mini on cereals.
Oh, so good. But it's so funny because it went away for like a couple of years.
Yeah.
And I was so like hankering for it that I like found boxes on like Amazon and would like.
Couldn't you just get like Quick and like toss it on some cinnamon toast
I didn't
crunch?
think of that. I feel like maybe not. But a couple of months ago, we were in the grocery store and I always scan and I look and see if it's there. And I'm always heartbroken. And so I didn't even look this time. And then it was like very cinematic. I just like walked right past. And then Bill goes, "It's back." And then there was a sign that said, "You asked for it." And I was like, they got my letters.
Janine, please stop writing
us.
That's so funny.
So good.
I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you.
It's really good dry too, like as a snack.
Of course.
It's great.
Of
Oh,
course.
it's so good.
So happy for you.
Please buy it. Keep it on the shelves. I love it.
My favorite flavor of Ben & Jerry's has been gone for 10 years, and it's never coming back.
Why?
Mission to Marzipan. It was sweet cream with little marzipan rockets in it, and it was so
But we might be going back
good.
to Mars, or going to Mars in the first place, having a Mars
Why can't
infatuation.
Elon Musk just fund the ice cream? Just give me the ice cream. Friend of the show, Chris Sorrentino, he's on the Ghostbusters episode. After I went to his house to record the Ghostbusters episode, and after we were done recording, he was just showing me all his Ghostbusters memorabilia. And in the 80s, there was a type of high C called Ecto Cooler.
Oh, yeah.
Which like tasted orange, but it was like green. And he was like, and in 2016 when the remake came out, they brought it out temporarily. He's like, look at this. He opened his pantry and he had like 30 cases of it. He's got a lifetime supply of it.
But like, it's not going to taste good after a while.
Don't tell him that.
Oh, no. There was this thing. There was like the flea market.
That's where I get all my groceries.
There was some like Jersey flea market, and I remember like the word on the street was they sold high C Ecto Cooler.
That's the word on the street.
That was
Don't
the word
tell
on the
the
street.
FDA.
Everyone was like, you can get it there, and I was like, who's making it?
Don't tell
It was
the
just
FDA.
extremely old. It was extremely old.
Well, for a while, there was like a recipe making its way through the internet, and there was a lot of YouTube videos of like people making it and being like, okay, it's kind of that. But I've become obsessed with on Instagram looking at like old cereals, like cereals that were tied into properties, like Gremlin cereal and Ghostbusters cereal. I believe there's a RoboCop cereal. I want it all.
Well, those tie-ins, a lot of times they take on a life of their own, like the Mulan Szechuan sauce.
Yes. Well, that also has to do with fucking neckbeards who I love Rick and Morty.
Me too.
But I'm a Rick and... Do you really?
I do.
I don't know that about you. I feel so close to you right now. Did we just become best friends? I'm... This is going to sound so douchey. I watched it from the beginning. I was there before it was on socks and your Pickle Rick t-shirt. I was there in season 1 when nobody cared. So...
Were you there for Cosby's?
Of course I was there for House of Cosby's.
Because we watched Cosby's and then
Not the Cosby Show, House of Cosby's by Justin Roiland.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then didn't watch until I think season 2 was already over of Rick and Morty, and then kind of went back and watched all of it.
It got popular between season 2 and season 3.
Yeah,
but its fan base annoys me. Even the irascible alcoholic Dan Harmon has said to the fans, like, why are you abusing female writers of the show? Like, you're not supposed to idolize Rick. Rick is he's a monster. He's a nihilist. He wants to die. Like fucking spit out the red pill and fucking Rick is not supposed to be a hero.
Oh, so you guys, actually, you and Emilio were doing an episode, and I don't think it was, or maybe it was Rick and Morty related, but then Oh, no, it wasn't. It wasn't. You were talking about Abbott and Costello. And I was like, oh my God, Rick and Morty's Abbott and Costello.
How so?
Because doesn't he say like, oh, geez, like all the time?
Oh, geez,
and
Rick.
it's like, oh, geez, Rick. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
Abbott and Costello in that way. And they're always like running into monsters and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, Rick and Morty is like this weird,
Abbott and Costello
twisted
did
Abbott
run
and
into
Costello.
monsters a lot.
All the time.
Yeah. They were, for a comic duo, they were always getting into supernatural hijinks.
They were terrorized.
Yeah. That's pretty funny. I love Abbott and Costello. Maybe that's it. I love a good duo. They're supposedly based on these early Justin Roiland animations called Doc and Marty,
Right. Yes.
which was but there's no those are one joke, which is just Doc would always ask Marty to lick his balls. He'd be like, "There's a time paradox, Marty. What are we gonna do, Doc? You gotta lick my balls." That was every episode of it. Because you need Dan Harmon there to like put a story in, because Justin Roiland's just fucking insane.
Yeah.
And it'll just be nonsense. Like the Intergalactic TV, which is just fucking improv sketches. Like that's an episode of Cosby's does that.
We lost to Jan Michael Vincent.
We did. I sent the cartoon picture of Jan Michael Vincent to somebody, and they didn't get it. I was like, it's a world of Jan Michael Vincent.
He's Jan Michael and God's Vincent now.
Oh, Rick and Morty. Supposedly they signed on for 70 more episodes. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, I think that honestly they might like Chappelle out.
Oh, I see.
Like, and be completely overwhelmed by that episode order.
Season 3 barely happened.
Yeah.
I don't think Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon like each other anymore. Which is that's Dan Harmon. He got fired off of the Sarah Silverman program. He got fired off Community. He's not good to work with.
Yeah.
People don't like him. But I don't know. Part of me would love that, actually. 3 magical seasons of... There's a comic, but the comic's not that good.
No.
So this is a chill session. This is the session where we just chill. And we just talk about things like cereal. You know, going back to what you were saying about properties that keep going... look at like Fruity Pebbles.
Oh yeah.
Right? Flintstones has been a primetime show since the 60s.
I know.
And Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Pebbles, the lesser one, has remained. No, Fruity Pebbles is better. And if it's
because it tastes like nothing else. Like nothing else tastes like that.
It's just
like I can get a chocolate cereal anywhere. Yeah, and I do from Chocolate Toast Crunch.
Yes, we know.
Promo code Pop Culture Man Children.
That's not a real promo code. Nothing will happen if you start that.
General Mills is like, stop sending this to us.
For a while, I was trying to make the hashtag PCMC go, but then I saw there was it was a hashtag, so I think there's got to be some like German electro artist named PCMC or something. Or it's some sort of cool new drug I don't know about.
It is.
Because I was like, wow,
it's like PCP plus meth.
Speaking of Instagram, I don't know why I'm prefacing this like it's at all exciting. It's not. I got 2 interesting Instagram things in the last day.
Okay.
I took a picture of my plushie chair, which is the chair where I have all my plushie toys. It's got my E.T., it's got my Mabel, it's got my Waddles. Everything is different now. It's got, but it's also got my Feisty friend, which is those toys where they look cute and then you squeeze them and they've got like mean faces.
Ooh.
So the official thing, they didn't just like it. They commented, "Oh, it's Princess Potty Mouth," and I was like, "Who the fuck is this person?" And then I looked, and it was like their official thing, and I was like, "Wow, they were so proud to see."
It's so weird
Princess
when like
Potty
an
Mouth.
official account like comments on something that you do as a person. Like I had Instagram for a minute, and I took a picture of the lighting aisle in Home Depot because I thought it was really pretty, and just like posted it, and like I probably hashtagged it Home Depot because like how else would they have found it? And then the Home Depot official account commented like, "It's beautiful in here," and I was like, "Oh my god!"
It makes your day.
It really does.
It makes your day. I went to see Beetlejuice the Musical.
Yes.
Which I'm obsessed with, so I'm going to talk about it during Obsessions.
Okay.
But I posted a bunch of stuff about it, and then I got a like from the mom of the girl who plays Lydia.
Oh, wow.
Because I saw the name of the girl, or the last name of the girl, and I was like, is this some weird super fan? And then I looked, and the account's like all pictures of her, but then it's like her as a child or like her at Thanksgiving dinner. And I was like, this is the mom. The mom is just up looking at hashtags for her daughter's show.
I 100% would do that if my kid was in anything. I would just be like, thank you so much for your support.
I absolutely would.
Do you want to come to Easter?
She's doing the good work. She's doing the good work. So,
oh my God.
So those are not interesting stories.
You should take a picture of this for the gram.
I should. What are you pointing to?
Drew it for the gram. I'm pointing to a very regal
sepia
tone picture of Star Wars characters in Victorian era garb that sits in a gilded frame in my dining room.
It is quite nice. I like the monocle on Chewbacca.
I know, he's my favorite. He's definitely the best one.
The hat on the top hat on Darth Vader is also very dapper.
I think C-3PO looks great.
Oh shit, did you hear about this new controversy? Maybe that's not the right word, but the thing that's going on with the Star Wars comic?
No.
So there's a comic out right now. It's a miniseries. It's called like Shadows of Vader or whatever. And it's a miniseries, and every issue is a story about Darth Vader through somebody's perspective. So it's sort of like, it's very subjective. Like in some, he looks different, and it's all like what random other people in the galaxy, what they think of him. So, but this last issue is about this nurse who works on the Death Star who's obsessed and in love with him.
Ooh.
It's a cool idea, but they draw her with crazy eyes, and she at the end of the issue, she runs into his office. And
he has an office?
She runs into his like lair, and he's got his helmet off. So he's got bald head revealed.
Yeah.
And she's like, I love you. And he just cracks her neck. And he says to like some other person, like, take this garbage out of here. It's very violent. And a lot of people like, a lot of people read it as, you are making fun of people who like ship things like Rayla or things like that. Like it seemed like it was making fun of female fans. And even the writer on Twitter was like, all right, you have a good point. Like we were trying to make her look like she was in love with him. But if you look at the art, she just looks like a crazy fucking person. Like you never understand her motives. It just seems like weirdly cruel. And I know he's Darth Vader, but it just felt like a fuck you to female fans of Darth Vader. So some people are upset about it. It's not something to like raise the flag over. It's certainly not a hill to die on, but it is something that people were bothered by, and I can see that, especially because I'm not a female Star Wars fan. I'm a cisgendered male Star Wars fan, but I can imagine that being a female Star Wars fan, you do deal with like shit and gatekeepers and people who are like, are you really a fan?
Do you know like the name of this thing? Like some fucking like obscure little fact about like some
What's
planet.
Palpatine's first name?
Sheev.
Everyone who listens to this show knows Sheev Palpatine. So what do you think?
I
know I've given you vaguely nothing.
I will, because I don't know really anything about this controversy or the comic, but I will say
the art is, you got to look at the art.
What's the intention? Like, I do want to see it. I want to see it.
The way they make her look, it just feels like, and also the way he kills her is, yes, he's Darth Vader, but and then he like calls her garbage. It's a bad look.
Dehumanizing.
It's a bad look.
Tough look for my guy Darth Vader.
He's misunderstood.
I've never been like a huge Darth Vader fan. I think visually he's like so cool looking and imposing. His costume's incredible.
He was very powerful originally.
James Earl Jones' amazing voice.
I think the prequels robbed him of some of the mystique.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
necessary.
All of the mystique. Really.
Yeah, once he's going yippee, it's
or that he hates sand.
Gets everywhere.
I slaughtered them like animals. So poorly acted. Poor Hayden Christensen.
Here's like how they make her look.
Aw, baby girl.
She looks real crazy.
Okay.
I could see.
He punished the doctor instead, protected me, couldn't bring himself to hurt me. So then she becomes like infatuated with him.
Yeah.
He's only just like me, kindred spirits drawn together by fate.
Right. She has a fantasy where they're like dancing together. It could have been cute. It honestly, what it smacks to me is a writer who doesn't understand women at all.
Oh wow, this next one. You don't have to be alone. I'm yours now and forever. We can B2, the nurse glimpses under Vader's mask seconds before he murders her. And she's got a real, like, spooky face on.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And there's a close-up of his eyes, like his actual eyes under the mask as she barges in.
Mm-hmm. So somebody tweeted at the writer, it really feels like you were trying to say something about fangirls who empathize with villains like Anakin and Kylo Ren. That really wasn't my intention, the author says. I'm not here. So his name is Dennis Hallam. I'm not here to police your read, but to me it's about a person so beaten down and caged in by her fascist existence that she fantasizes about the only person in her world powerful enough to free her.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I don't know if it's coming through. It could be the art. Sometimes I think, look, comic books are obviously a visual medium, and I think if an artist gives the wrong facial expression to a character, it can completely pepper your read.
Right.
Giving her crazy face robs her of her empathy and just makes her a villain, or not a villain, it makes her someone that we're just like, kind of like when in the 80s horror movies where you're just waiting for Freddy Krueger to like kill somebody. You don't care about the character at all.
Yeah.
You're just like, when's Darth Vader gonna kill her? When's he gonna kill that bitch? Like that's sort of all you're waiting for.
So he also replied to someone else who wrote a long thread about the comic and how it takes a lot of tropes beloved by fangirls and portrays them in a less than flattering light. And he said, I read your thread as you were writing it. Your perspective is extremely informative. Thank you for taking the time. I will say I don't think our medic is silly or crazy at all. In my mind, she is the heroine of the story. It was not our intention to mock her or anyone else. I mean, it seems like he's responding to their criticism in a really thoughtful way.
Yes.
Which is good.
And it seems to me that the story he thinks he was writing wouldn't be bad. I don't think that's the story that ended up on the page.
Right. I don't think that's a bad story.
I don't think...
Have we seen female Death Star employees? I like vaguely maybe remember one. Well, in the newer movies, I think I remember one.
Well, in the new movies, you've got like Captain Phasma.
Oh yeah, well, there's Captain Phasma, of course. But
and in the cartoons and the extended stuff, there's a lot.
But
there's
Admiral Sloan, like the original trilogy.
The original trilogy.
I
don't think there's any female.
Because at least people talking about
don't at me.
SJW wars and like diversity. It's like it was always diversity versus. Like the Empire.
It was always just like
always
white
like these
dudes.
white British guys,
like Admiral Veers,
versus the like multicultural rebellion.
Right.
They have women in charge.
Exactly.
They have people of color. All over the place.
That's why there's that great scene in Empire where we first see Boba Fett, and there's a bunch of alien bounty hunters on the bridge, and you see one officer say to another, like, what are these scum doing here?
Right.
Because it's like all diversity. Right.
They're supposed to be Nazis.
Right. So but it wasn't political before. You're making it political.
You're making the new movies political. Yeah, no. They've always been political.
Of course. What is the Death Star but not an obvious Cold War fucking symbol?
Everybody needs to put on their They Live sunglasses and watch these movies again and be like,
everyone just needs to swallow their red pill. No.
This is taking a turn again. See, we're doing it again.
No, it's you.
It's me. It's me.
What have you been watching or reading or doing? You're a new mother.
I am.
So does that take up a lot of your time?
It takes up almost all of it.
We'll be right back with good questions.
These are
so hard-hitting
questions. It's going.
Great.
He's still alive, so we're doing okay.
Oh, you know what? At the end of the day, that's all that
matters. All that counts. Oh my god, I chose to have him. Oh my god, we're going back.
Oh god, stop! No.
I've been watching. You've seen the movie What We Do in the Shadows?
Yes.
I've been watching the series on FX.
The series? How is it? I haven't watched it. It takes place on Staten Island, right?
Okay. Yes, it does. So,
but it's not filmed here, really.
No, it's filmed in Toronto.
Of course it is.
It's just like, I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoy it. But I feel like as a Staten Islander, you're going to get annoyed at things.
Really?
Just like factual things about the island that you're like, oh, huh. So, for instance, like the geography is like totally crazy because
that won't bother me.
It's fine. They do try a little bit because they'll like pepper in names. So at one point they're at the Staten Island City Council meeting, which I'm like, just Google it. we're part of New York City Council.
Right.
Like there's no Staten Island City Council. Where they mention Highland and Tanglewood.
Okay.
And they're like, my apartment is over a bar on Tanglewood. I'm like, there's no bar on Tanglewood. You're just gonna be doing that the whole time. But it's a great show.
Well, you're not gonna set your comedy on Staten Island unless you're doing it for a funny reason.
Yeah.
Unless it's like, what would be a funny place for vampires to live? Staten Island.
Well, they're always playing into the whole like, okay, so I've only seen as of this recording, there are 5 episodes. So we're about halfway through the season. There's going to be 10 altogether. The first episode was directed by Taika Waititi.
Of course.
The next 3 were directed by Janine Clement,
who starred in the movie.
Yeah.
But isn't in the show.
Is not in the show. And Taika's not in the show either. But
So
he directed the movie and he was in the movie.
It's different characters.
Yes, but they're within the same world.
Okay.
And the actors...
Are they the same archetypes? Like in the movie, like there's the sexy one, there's the old one who's like Nosferatu, there's like the one who was like very violent because he's
like Vlad the Impaler, kind of. They're like adjacent to those characters.
Okay.
So there's a female vampire named Nadia. There's my favorite character, Laszlo, who's played by Matt Berry. And like I know Matt Berry from The Mighty Boosh and some other like there's only one word to use to like describe him. I feel like he's just like robust as a person. He's so much fun.
I don't know him. Matt Berry. And
then there's the character Nandor, who's played by, I know his first name is Kayvon. But they're all great. They're a lot of fun. Nadia and Laszlo are married. And then there's their familiars, which their familiar is Guillermo. This guy Guillermo is Nandor's familiar. Oh, and there's also Colin Robinson, who's an energy vampire, and he's just like a guy. He's just like a guy who lives with them. And the way he preys on his victims is he'll like bore them to death. So he like works in a real like office space type office, and he'll come over and be like, you really shouldn't be drinking that because science suggests that these things can really harm you. And then it just talks and drones on you. You see people like falling over.
Does it actually give him life? Or is the joke like he's just a shitty person?
I thought for a while, I guess this is like spoilers for the series, but I thought he was just a person that they lived with who was like saying he was an emotional vampire, but he actually he is a vampire. He is really a vampire. So in the last episode I watched, which was number 4, they go to Manhattan to meet up with a character played by Nick Kroll. And the joke is just like, oh, you guys are doing well. Like, what are you up to? And they're like, well, we're on Staten Island. And they're like, good for you. That's great. It seems like the season-long arc is they're visited by this like ancient vampire named the Baron, and he's disappointed in them because when they came to the New World, they were supposed to take over the New World. And he's like, is Staten Island, is this the seat of power in this country? And they're like, yes, it is. So now they have to like make alliances to like try to become more powerful. And there's the werewolves. There's like a werewolf.
The werewolves are in it?
Yeah. But Rhys Darby is not in it. I hope he shows up because he's my absolute favorite.
We're werewolves, not
swearwolves.
I think so. I've been wanting to watch that because I've seen that movie like 3 times.
I loved it. I really loved it. I like I don't know. I was gonna say I maybe enjoy it more than the movie. I really like it a lot.
Really?
Yeah. It's so
Does it
so
have
funny.
the same like pseudo documentary feel?
It feels like The Office with vampires.
Sure.
And Beanie Feldstein is in it.
Oh,
she's
from
also in
Booksmart.
it. Yeah.
Awesome.
She plays girl who gets turned into a vampire by the character Nadia.
Okay.
Whom I love also. Like Laszlo is my first favorite, but like by a hair. Like Nadia is also incredible. A lot of fun.
I really want to see it. It's on FX? Not FXXX?
No. Just the one. Just the one X.
Just the one X?
Yeah. And I don't know anybody who watches live TV anymore, but it's on Wednesday nights. So
I'm going to put it down on my
tune in.
calendar.
Write
Let me
it
get a
down
pencil.
in your date book.
I will.
Turn to TV Guide. Rifle through the pages. Circle
TV
it.
Guide still around?
I mean,
It
as
was
like a
magazine
brand,
for a
right?
while.
Is it even a channel anymore? I don't know.
God, I don't know.
We used to get TV Guide magazine.
Oh God,
It was like Reader's Digest. It was like a small one, looked like a book.
Like who didn't get?
Yeah, because then it would be like interviews in the front and
Yeah.
then the listings in the back, and the listings would always be like phone book pages, but the
Right.
beginning was glossy.
I still have the 4 variant special covers for Star Wars Episode 1, which you put the 4 together and it made like a mural.
Oh my God, I remember that. I remember there's a Buffy one that I really loved.
One of my favorite I'm gonna say images ever is her photo shoot from Rolling Stone where she has the red cape. You know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
It was like very early on and like it's very interesting.
Some iconic images of her.
Yeah Miss Calendar.
Miss Calendar. Pearl.
How was season 2 of Sabrina? I watched I love Sabrina season 1.
I really enjoyed it.
I watched the
loved
first 5 minutes and then I was just, I don't know why I wasn't feeling it that day.
No.
And is it good?
Shit goes crazy.
Yeah.
Like where we started is not where we end up at all.
Yeah.
Everything is topsy-turvy.
Are you happy about?
I am. It's
direction?
in a completely new direction now, and I'm excited about it.
Well, let's all right, let me say spoiler alert for people who haven't seen season 2 of Sabrina yet, because I want to know certain things. I've heard that Miss Woodward is like not bad really that much anymore.
Well, I've always felt that she was kind of like straddling that line. 'Cause she would help Sabrina, but she's always working for the Dark Lord.
Right.
But she did really act as a mentor to her. Like she made her a better witch.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the similar storyline, except as Lilith, you find out really more of her background, and you really see it play out that she's in this like toxic relationship with the devil, and you get a lot.
Is there any kind of relationship you be with the devil?
You feel a lot of empathy for her. Like her character motivation is there. You kind of understand why she's doing what she's doing. I found her to be like a very, very sympathetic character. And she's such a great actress. I love.
I know. I was just going to say.
Is it Michelle Gomez or Melissa?
Michelle Gomez.
Michelle Gomez.
She is hands down, I think, the best master on Doctor Who.
Really? Oh man, I completely missed that era.
She was great because they made her more.
It was like Capaldi, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
During the David Tennant years, they made the Master more like just a straight up villain, like big bad. But in the Capaldi years, when she won by the name Missy, as in like short for mistress instead of the Master.
Okay.
But that was also because the first season she was on, they were trying to like make it a reveal, but everyone guessed it immediately anyway. But she was more like the Doctor's like trickster friend. She was like Loki. Like she'd go on adventures with them, and then they'd be like, "Watch out, she's gonna fuck us over at some point." And then she'd do something good, and then like turn around and stab you in the back.
Right.
And
but she loves characters like that.
Oh yeah,
That's
and
fun.
she was so funny. There was one episode where like they go on the doctor's like testing her. Like the doctor's got her in like a prison, and she's like, "I'm good. I'm reformed." And he's like, "I'm gonna test you to see. I'm gonna put you on a mission, and if you do good, I'll let you out."
Yeah.
So there's an episode where like they barge onto some like ship, and she's like, "Hey everybody, it's me, Doctor Who. I'm here to have an adventure.
Doctor.
I might sound scary, but I'm your friend. Look, I've got young people with me." And she's just like making fun of him and the premise of the show. And then he's like, "My name isn't Doctor Who," and she's like, "Isn't it though?" She was great. She's so good.
She's great
her.
on the show. I love her on Sabrina.
So is season 2 better than season 1?
You know what? I don't know, because I was falling in love with the show in season 1, and now this kind of just deepened my love for it.
Yeah.
It was untried ground. They really are just like, they keep pushing it, which is great.
Has she gotten better at winking?
No,
Oh, that's too bad.
she hasn't. I really like Kiernan Shipka.
I like her. She
a
just
lot.
doesn't know how to wink.
No,
So they
there's
should stop
something-
writing winking scenes.
There's something very like, I want to call her like crisp. I don't know if that, there's something really like crisp about her line deliveries always. Like everything's enunciated, and she kind of reminds me of like an older like film star in the way that she acts.
Oh yeah.
And I kind of feel that really works because the whole thing is sort of like an Archie Comics retro vibe. So she fits in really well with that. So I do like her a lot.
She's very plucky.
She's extremely plucky, right? Like that's a perfect word for her. She's very plucky, but she's also super woke, and like she's this like feminist retro character that I love. So I do like her a lot. But I don't know. They're just expanding the mythology. They're going deeper and deeper into it. I found that I was always like my interest was always piqued, with every episode.
And I heard her friend becomes more openly genderqueer.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is a transition season for, oh God.
What's their name? I don't remember.
Well, they use male pronouns now.
Oh, okay.
It was Susie.
It was Susie.
Formerly Susie. Shoot. Okay. Well, they transitioned.
Nobody comes to Pop Culture Man Children for news and information.
Oh my God. That character transitions. And it's a really interesting narrative because you think it's going to go one way with their dad and it doesn't. It's actually extremely heartwarming and touching. And I think also kind of plays into a real thing that parents of trans children experience because I've read so much that even at their most supportive, parents of trans kids mourn the loss of this kid that they had, in their head all the child's life. It was, like a little boy or a little girl, and you like invest so much in that idea. And even if you're supportive,
the actress is non-binary.
The actress, or the actor, I suppose, is
not being gendered. That's interesting. I'm trying to find the name.
Oh, Theo.
Oh wait, because wasn't that the name of their hero? Is it male? It's male pronouns?
Yeah, he uses male pronouns. So Theo uses male pronouns.
Wasn't that his hero from the past? Like the ghost?
Theodora. Yeah. So Theo now is it's I like how he treated it like it wasn't a big deal. Like he's being bullied in school, but to his friends and to his loved ones, he's able to turn around and say, it's Theo. Actually, it's Theo now. And just like that. And they all say, oh, okay. They just take a beat and they're like, all right, you're Theo.
Yeah.
And they
Sounds like some SJW bullshit to me.
But they never mess up his pronouns. They always use his name. And it's like a really beautiful moment where he's in his room and he asks his dad, can you take me to get a haircut? Like I want to cut my hair. And it's already short, but he wants it buzzed.
Yeah.
And the dad tells Theo, but you're my girl. Like you've always been my girl. Yeah. And then like pauses and then is like, come on, let's go get your haircut. And then the next scene, he has a crew cut, like he has a buzzed head.
Okay. That's nice. That like, I mean, they show the reality of like it being a bit of a struggle, but then the father isn't against it. The
father's always been presented as like this real blue collar, like coal miner worker.
He looks like
not
the
necessarily like
dude
the most woke. Yeah, film professor out there.
Well, I don't know why there's a personal attack here, but he legit looks like the dude from the American Gothic painting.
Oh my God, he really does.
So you're like, this guy's not too woke.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna happen.
But he's nice.
Yeah, he is.
He turns out not being bad.
Yeah,
that's great. I mean, just to have a show with that.
Yeah.
That type of character and that type of struggle or character arc is like great because representation is important.
Though I mean, the whole thrust of this season is like misogyny and like
right because the Dark Lord not only is evil, but he's kind of a sexist, right?
Oh, he is, but really, it's more the High Priest.
Oh, that guy sucks.
Yeah, he's got
an evil. If I saw him in real life, I'd be like, "You fucking evil." Yeah, I know,
right? The Church of Night has like a secret faction that's all male and is like who wants to impose new laws on the Church of Night that are not going to allow like female witches to do very much at all. Which is like, haven't we been through this already? Like with the actual witch trials? Wasn't this what it was all about?
It's like I loved in the last season of Buffy, which the last season of Buffy is a real hit or miss. But I love the last season of Buffy. You find out that the Watchers took power away from a group of females that were watching the Slayer, and it really was about matriarchal power, and the Watchers just imposed their own bullshit patriarchal power.
Right.
That's like there's a great speech where she's like, I've got power and you want power and I've got what you want. I love Buffy.
Well, it's like the very first Slayer. I mean, there are a lot of issues because it's like primitivist and stuff, but it's a woman of color.
Right.
And then the Watcher Council shows up all of a sudden. It's like, we have to control this power. Right. We have to maintain this power over these female bodies that are exerting power. Yeah. No thanks.
And then Miss Calendar. All right, let's take a break.
Miss Calendar.
And we'll come back with Obsessions.
You watch me get Fred's Fruity Pebbles.
Who are you?
I'm the master rapper and I'm here to sing. I love Fruity Pebbles in a major way.
He loves Fruity Pebbles in a major way.
The bedrock yellow, orange, purple, lime, and red. But to get the fruity taste, I gotta trick Fred. Fruity.
To get the fruity taste, he's got to trick Fred. Barney.
Guess that's a wrap.
Most Fruity Pebbles cereal, part of this nutritious breakfast. Yabba-dabba delicious.
Welcome back to Pop Culture Man Children, PCMC. I'm Mike Bongiorno. I'm here today with Janine Gagliardi. And you are, if you're a new listener, and I know some of you are, I know you're out there, and you're thinking, hey, what's this show about? Is it about abortions? No, it's not.
It's not. Believe it or not.
This show is about pop culture, movies, TV, video games, books, fandom, toys for me. Henry's Henry's awoken. Baby Henry.
Oh, there he goes. Now you can see him. He's up. He's up and about.
Well, this is Obsessions. This is where we're talking about what we're obsessed with.
I'm going to change mine. Last minute decision.
Sure. Go right ahead.
I was going to talk about Billie Eilish, who's a pop star, top of the pop charts right now. Super interesting. You should check her out. But I'm actually going to talk about, because I know you guys don't talk about it that much on this show, Game of Thrones.
I watched the first 2 or 3 seasons.
Oh, you got in pretty far then.
Yeah, but I watched them in like a week.
Oh.
I binged them.
Oh, God. I feel like it must be such a difficult show to binge.
It was good because like I was keeping up with everyone and stuff.
Okay, I guess it's easier to keep track.
And I liked it, but I also was like, I'm done. I don't know why. But you're sticking with it.
I'm sticking with it.
How is the final season?
It's good. It's really good so far. It's a lot of putting people, like moving pieces to get to where they need to go. But so as of this recording, we're only 2 episodes in.
Yeah. How many episodes are in this final season?
I think 6, only 6.
Oh, wow.
And some of them are like an hour and a half long.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're going to be meaty. So episode 2 of this season, it's called A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and it's really beautiful. And I don't know where you got to in the series, Brienne of Tarth comes in yet.
Which one is that?
She is the female, she's actually not a knight, that's like specific to this episode, but she's essentially a knight. She wears like golden armor. She works for Renly Baratheon at the time. Yeah. She's super tall. Gwendolyn Christie. She's Captain Phasma.
Yes. Thanks for putting it in Star Wars.
Yeah, there you go.
Liz Lemon. Say it in Star Wars.
So Captain Phasma. She features like heavily in this episode, and she's finally knighted in this episode. She's like very sweet.
That's awesome.
And a lot of people said this episode was like filler, get to the action, but this episode was very much like a love letter to the characters, and it felt like saying goodbye to a lot of the characters, because the next episode is going to be all battle, and there's going to be a high body count, and there is, and so like people are bracing themselves to like lose big. Storm. Yeah, absolutely. And it's like the night before the battle. People are drinking, people are singing songs, people are spending time together with their loved ones.
And the next 3 episodes are going to be,
it's just going to be death. Like everybody's going to die. Like, I mean, this will have come on after the episode, but I mean, like, Brienne's dead. She's got to be. They like her story arc completed. Like she got the thing that she's always wanted. She wanted to be a knight. She wanted to get recognition from Jaime, and she gets it. So she's dead. It's over. What's left for her?
Okay.
I think they're gonna kill Ghost, one of the last remaining dire wolves, which is just.
I'm against
Ghost,
dogs dying.
Ghost deserves better. Yeah, I know, that bums me out.
Have you ever seen the website Does the Dog Die?
No.
You can just type in any movie or TV show and it'll tell you if the dog dies.
Oh my god, that's why I've never seen John Wick. Because I know there's like a dog death immediately.
I haven't seen it either, but I love the idea that he just goes on a rampage killing people.
Because the dog.
Because somebody killed his dog.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
There was an Endgame like Tumblr post recently where it's like, if Thanos killed 50% of the universe, does that also include animals? Because if somebody came after my dog, you wouldn't even need to assemble the Avengers. Like, I would just be, I'd murk Thanos immediately.
That's so do you think you know how Game of Thrones is going to end? Do you feel like I know where all these pieces are going?
Kind of. And I hope that they don't try to shock us because just for the sake of shocking us.
Yeah.
Like, I want them to tell a cohesive, rewarding story. Yeah. And I think to do that, I can tell you right now, Daenerys and Jon are not going to die in the battle in the next episode. They shouldn't because they're two main characters now, and their storyline is not even close to being completed. Yeah. And it wouldn't make sense to kill one of them. Yeah, so we know that, right? And some of the other characters, I think, for that reason, are safe. I won't be disappointed if I'm not shocked by any of the character deaths because I feel like we need to take the time to get to the end of their story. I have a feeling about a few things, a few theories have been floating around online that I think are pretty solid. I guess I'll see by the time this comes on if I was right or not. I don't think the Night King's going to be at the battle. I think he's going to be at not Winterfell. I think he's going to be at King's Landing. So there's this idea all these the army of the dead is coming to Winterfell, and that's the big battle that's happening. But
that's the winter that was always coming.
That's the winter's coming. It's here.
It came.
That's what she said. Yes.
Okay, for right now.
Yeah.
I could magically show you Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker or the final 3 episodes of Game of Thrones this second. Which one would you take?
Game of Thrones. I'm very much in the world of Game of Thrones right now. I never read any of the books though. I never read the books. I have a feeling the last book will never come out. Do you know anything about that?
Supposedly what they're doing now in the show is informed by just fucking things George R.R. Martin just tells them. This is what I think I'm going to do. But,
yeah, and
when you sit down to
I think
write
they're doing a good job with the material. Weirdly, though, I forgot to bring this up. Gemini Man is written by David Benioff, who's one of the showrunners on Game of Thrones. But
he's doing a Star Wars movie, isn't he?
They both are, yeah. D.B. Weiss and David Benioff. And I have a feeling D.B. Weiss is the talent there. I know it's kind of mean to say, but
Matt Damon.
Yeah. So David Benioff wrote Gemini Man along with other people. And so then I was like, oh, it's probably going to be good then. It's written by the Game of Thrones guy. But then I looked at his filmography and he's written some real stinkers.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, God, off the top of my head, I can't think of it.
Some real stinkers. What's his name?
David Benioff.
Sounds like a fake name you give the cops. What's your name? David Benioff? John Cocktoson.
Okay, so he wrote 25th Hour with Ed Norton.
I liked that.
Okay, he wrote Troy. He wrote Stay with Ryan Gosling. Okay, he wrote the film version of The Kite Runner.
No, I haven't seen that.
He did X-Men Origins Wolverine.
I haven't seen that, but I've heard it's
X-Men
not good.
Origins Wolverine is the one with the original Deadpool.
Oh, the bad Deadpool.
Yeah, it's the bad Deadpool. And he wrote Brothers, but that's an adaptation of a Danish film, and that's with Natalie Portman and Tobey Maguire and Jake Gyllenhaal, and one of them supposedly dies in war. And
I haven't seen
back.
enough of these movies to really pass
They're
judgment.
not
I don't even
great.
think I've seen Troy.
I've seen Troy. It's not great. Yeah, they're not great movies. So
okay.
I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm hoping, because the show is good. The Game of Thrones is very good, I think. So I'm not worried about their Star Wars foray, but I'm not necessarily thinking it's riding on David Benioff's shoulders.
Yeah. All right. So my obsession is the Beetlejuice musical.
Okay.
I went to see it the other day at actually a matinee showing. And I'm not a musical guy. I'm not even that much of a theater guy. So I should preface it by saying most musicals I don't like. I like musicals like Beetlejuice. My favorite 3 musicals are Rocky Horror Show, the Evil Dead musical from 10 years ago, and the episode of Buffy. That is the musicals of Buffy.
Once More with Feeling.
But you walk in and it's everything's purpley and green and awesome, and it's this is already my vibe. And then it starts and it starts with a funeral, which is not how the movie starts, and it's Lydia's mom's funeral.
Oh.
And she's singing a song about being sad. And so it starts in this weird dark way, and but a beautiful production design. Like there's a screen in the back where like things look like they're being drawn on, and then Beetlejuice is like there, and he's like, wow, a ballad already. He's Deadpool in this. He's like, oh, a ballad already, and already such a departure from the source material. And then he sings his first song, which is "This Is a Show About Death."
Okay,
and it's really fun. It was really funny, and some of the changes they make to it is Lydia isn't just a goth. She's dealing with her mom having just died.
Yeah.
And her mother in the movie, who is actually her stepmother in the movie, although like they don't make a big deal of it. They just say it once that she's her stepmother. She's her life coach. It's supposed to be helping her, but the father's hooking up with her.
Oh.
They make Beetlejuice himself more of a good guy. Like he still does everything he does. The first act
is more like the animated series.
I think. Well, the first act is basically the most of the movie, and then the second act has a big departure. And there's a part in the second act where there's a lot of just Lydia and Beetlejuice doing stuff, and I felt like the writer of this definitely was inspired by the cartoon.
Had to be,
because they're like BFFs in the second act.
Yeah,
and he still does all the things he does in the movie, but they make him like he's lonely, he doesn't like being dead, and he had a weird mother situation.
Oh, we find out
about
him. Do we find out how he died?
No. I don't think he's a demon. I don't think he was a human ever.
Right, but he's in that waiting room. Like, he has to adhere to all the rules of the dead.
Yeah, it's never clear. The movie's very unclear as to things.
And also, like, I looked into this a couple years ago because I was like, how did Beetlejuice die if he's dead? Because he's the ghost with the most.
Yeah. Sure.
And he has, like, it looks like vomit around his mouth.
Yeah.
So I was like, did he, like, get poisoned, or did he die of, like, an overdose or something?
I always thought of him as just like, he's just like a fucking rock star. Like, he just vomited somewhere.
He just vomited somewhere and just kept it on his face. It's very like Rick.
Yes,
he's
absolutely.
Got, like, vomit on his face.
His hair
looks like Rick's too.
His hair changes color a little bit. It's green, but then it's also then purple and red in another scene.
Huh. Okay. It's kind of like his outfit changes in the movie because he's wearing like the red suit.
Yeah. The woman Juno, the cigarette smoking woman who runs hell, she's his mom.
That's his mom?
Yeah. But you don't know that to the very end.
Right.
They make changes, but a lot of changes I think make sense. The songs were all good. They were all funny. The set design was great. They really make Beetlejuice the star more than the Maitlands, the couple. I like them. They're really funny, but you don't need them at all. You could just have it with, there's a house that he's haunting with Lydia and her family.
I've always felt that way.
Right. The movie,
but I like them, you know.
The movie itself is an odd curio that's also very short, and it was originally going to be directed by Wes Craven, but he would have made it scarier.
Yeah.
And then Tim Burton made it this weird, funny thing. It's, even now you look at it, it's like, this is a weird movie. How did this movie ever get made?
Yeah.
Tim Burton wanted Sammy Davis Jr. to play Beetlejuice.
I remember hearing that.
Which is bonkers.
I want to see that movie.
Oh my God.
In the Sandman comics. Did you ever read them?
No, I haven't.
Okay. So in the Sandman comics, there's like the library of like unwritten books.
Yeah.
Or like every book that was going to be written or like was never written by an author. I want to see like the unmade movies, like all the like Breakfast at Tiffany's with Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
Like Sammy Davis Jr. as Beetlejuice sounds incredible.
Oh my God. That would be the best thing ever. The music was by a man named Eddie Perfect. It doesn't even use Danny Elfman's score. Like they hint at it, but like it seems like they legally could not.
Yeah.
Which at first I thought, oh, that's a bad thing, but it works. The music's really good. It's very funny. The girl who plays Lydia, me and her mama BFF on Instagram. The song's really funny. There's a song she has called "Dead Mom."
Oh my God.
The effects are great. I just absolutely loved it. Yesterday when I saw Endgame, when it was over, I said to my friend, like, that was great, but it was no Beetlejuice the musical. So I really can't wait to see it again. These are just some of the songs. The whole dead thing, Dead Mom, Say My Name, which is a good song where he's trying to get her to say his name.
Okay.
They also make that more clear. They make the rules. They change the rules of that where you have to say it 3 times consecutively without stopping.
Okay.
You can't just say Beetlejuice, because in the movie it's very unclear. It's like
Right, because then it's like, if I said it 3 times my whole life, will you then show up?
Like you have to say it unbroken. The first act ends with the Banana Boat song Deo. Which is, it's the same setup as the movie. They're haunting them and they're possessing them, but the performers are actually singing, and that like brought the house down. Everybody was so excited for it. Because it's iconic and they did a great job with it. And then it ends with Jump in the Line.
Nice.
And then like Jump in the Line like melodies into a reprise of one of their songs in it. It was great. Go see it. It's the best musical ever. Fuck you, Hamilton.
Oh, wow. How is Beetlejuice? How is like the actor who plays him?
He's great. He's the guy who played the Jack Black part in the School of Rock musical.
Okay.
So he's more sort of like overweight slovenly Beetlejuice, which
They
I
give
think
Michael
works.
Keaton a belly in the movie.
Yeah, that's
he's
true.
got like his like shirt buttons are popping off, I think.
Yeah. He's very good. He's a good singer, he's a good dancer, he's very funny. He does a lot of crowd work. Like I said, he's like Deadpool. So like he talks right. He constantly breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah.
All right, this episode's 9 hours long. Janine, thanks for coming on. And
I'm gonna get
rhetoric.
I'm gonna get death threats for this episode.
No one listens to this. No, thanks for being here. Great as always.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Pop Culture Man Children PCMC. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to the show wherever podcasts are available. Hey, subscribe in multiple places. Share us with your friends. Follow at Pop Culture Man Children on Instagram.
Go bye-bye.
Go bye-bye.